Hello, everyone. Welcome again. This is another episode of Benny's World, and we're live on both X and on YouTube. So if you want to join us there, you can leave your comments on YouTube or on the post. If you go to my profile, if you're watching me on X, you can go to my profile and there's a post there. And if you want to add something, then you can leave your comments under that post. So check that out. But today we're talking about financial freedom. It's a topic that I like to talk about. It's important to me, and I think it's something that many people out there are also, it's trying to strive for, trying to go after. And I just wanted to have a look at what that really means, and how we feel about that. So yeah, again, if you wanna leave any comments, you can go on via Stoica on YouTube. That's our channel. You can just look for it on when you search. You find our little logo, the via Stoica logo, and you can find it there. You can leave some comments in the chat, or if you're on X, you can go to my profile. There's a post with this live stream, and you can leave some comments under the post, um, and then I can see if you have any questions. But if not, we're just going to talk about financial freedom for a little bit, about 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. See how it goes. See where we end up. And this is just kind of a chat to have. So again, welcome everyone. I'm going to try and do this every week. Last week we talked a little bit about travel. And again, if you have any questions, although we're talking about financial freedom today, but if you have any other questions regarding anything else, let me know. It is kind of an ask me anything style. So yeah, here we go. So financial freedom. Um, and then especially I look at it from a stoic angle, because obviously stoicism is kind of my philosophy of life, something that I find important and adhere to. So that's something that I've been practicing over these last few years. And yeah, like maybe people who've been following me for a while, they know that I'm currently living out of my backpack, kind of traveling, looking after houses and pets, and trying to live, within my means. Or like at the moment, I don't have an income. I'm still living off my savings, and I've been doing so by trying to live as cheap as possible, but not like cheap in a bad sense, but just living well, but doing it within the right means. And I think when we talk about financial freedom, a lot of people always think about having a lot of money, right? When I've talked to this, I've talked about this topic with people as a coach, but also just private or on spaces. And whenever we think about financial freedom, we think about having millions, right? Most people, they have this figure in their head where it's, I need to have, I don't know, 5 million or 10 million. And while yeah, having money helps. Money, it is simply, it's kind of the way the world works. We exchange our goods for money, and our time for money, right? So we have to see um, what kind of value we add to it. And we can make plans, right? We can make plans. And I think, and we talked about this in several spaces on X. If you're watching this on YouTube, we do hold weekly spaces, weekly live conversations on X, formerly known as Twitter. So if you want to follow us there and join the conversation. But having this big amount, right? Having this amount set for yourself, oftentimes it's way bigger than we think, right? And there are ways to have your money work. You can have some investment strategies, like putting things in index funds, or and that's even what someone like Warren Buffett says. That's the way to go. If you really want to build something for the future, then put things in index funds. Let it be stand there. You can put money monthly or whatever time you want to invest there. It's super easy, right? You don't have to do anything. There's this the couch potato portfolio. If you want to look into the fire community, what is it, retire early, financial independence, retire early, fire community. There's a lot of information if you Google that on how to invest in a safe way, in a good way, and how to do it yourself. So that's something that you can research, you can look into. Obviously, this is not financial advice that I'm giving here, but there are ways to let your money work for you, right? And once you realize this, and once you have a better understanding of all of this, you know that you don't have to have all the money that you think you have to have, at least not as much. And again, there's also this idea of how to live, right? So financial freedom isn't just about the money you earn, right? The money you make, because a lot of people, that's what they're after, right? The big numbers, having all those the income streams that you want because you want to keep a life up, right? But then you have to ask yourself, how much is this really um, um, how much is this really hurting my freedom, right? Because again, we want to be free, we want to have this optionality, we want to do things, we want to live our lives, but money can be a restriction, right? And again, money is a tool. It's not a good in itself. If you have a lot of money, that doesn't necessarily make you a good person or a bad person. That's all up to you and how you live and what you do with your life. So money is a tool, and we can use it as such, and that's something that people forget. And oftentimes people label money as a bad, right? Money is bad. If you have too much money, then it'll make you bad. No, there's a lot of good people with a lot of money as well. So that's not a given. So I think it is important to look at what influence money has in your life. So when we think about the amounts, we also need to look at the lifestyle that we want to live. And the problem is that now with a world where a lot of we are so influenced by having all these wants and desires, by living well above our means, because we are comparing ourselves to all these people around us. And I think that is a danger, right? When we try to compare ourselves with what does this person have? They have a great car, they have a great house, they have all these gadgets, they have all this. I need to have this as well. And then the danger is that we start to overextend ourselves with the money that's coming in, and the money goes out. Money goes out a lot faster. There's a saying, they made it round for a reason, because it needs to roll, right? And especially now with credit cards, with loans and all these things, it's so easy to buy things that we can't really afford. And then for me, when I grew up, we didn't have much, right? There was we didn't have much to spend. So whenever we wanted something, we always got this question: it's like, do you really need this? And when I was younger, this question really frustrated me. It's like, yeah, I need it. I want to have this toy. I'm a kid. I want to play. I want to do all these things. Yeah, I need it. And look at all my friends. They have all these fancy clothes, all these computers and all that stuff. And we simply didn't have the money for it. So back in the day, that question was frustrating to me. Do you really need this? And now it is a empowering question. Do I really need this? So when I look at my things around me, and again, everything that I own fits in a large backpack and in a smaller backpack, and that's how I travel. And yeah, I do need some things, like for example, I'm recording now on a laptop. I have a little mic, just to kind of, because this is what I do, right? So I want to, if I do certain things in my life, then I want to have the right stuff. Then if I buy it, then I want to buy good stuff, things that last, and things that are good quality. And sometimes I make mistakes in that as well. That's true. But when I ask myself, do I really need it? That has really given me a sense of um, gratitude of what I have. It's like, do I really need this? Yeah, maybe I do. Then I'll go and get it, and then I'll go and get a good stuff. Do I really need this? No, I don't. So then I can let it slide or let it go for a while. And maybe even if I'm doubting, I can just wait a few days. I can see, okay, what is life without it? What would possibly be the advantage of having it? So then you think about those things, and it's empowering, right? When you really um, add true value to the things that you have, then you know what it is important and what is important in your life. And I think that's a great way and great mentality and great mindset to have. So yeah, those are the things that when we do think about money, when we do think about financial freedom, it isn't just about making more money, right? There's other ways money comes and goes, right? So we also have to think about how we spend our money. And this is not necessarily um, a thing to say like, oh, you shouldn't spend any money, right? No, look at what is important to you. And this is a common example is if you like to go for a Starbucks, or if you like to go for meals or do certain things, have a certain hobby, and you have to spend your money on it, great, do it. And if you are willing to spend that money on it, then you know that it's important to you, that you know that it's something that you value, and that is really good information to have. And then you can see, okay, if I really want to if I really want to do these things, if I really want to buy these things, then how much money do I need to make, right? And then you can look for maybe a better job, or maybe spend less money on other things, so you can really set your priorities straight. And that is the mindset that we need to have with money. It's not just spending it, right? It's not just buying stuff because of the society's kind of demanding it. No, we need to be more conscious. We need to be more present when we buy, when we accumulate, when we spend our money. So financial freedom isn't just about making money again. It's also what we do with the money, how important it is to us. And then we can make some calculations, right? And I was reading this interesting book a while back now by Vicky Robin called Your Money or Your Life. And a really important question was asked there is like, what is your enough? What is it? When are you satisfied? What is enough for you? Right? Again, we're talking about more money, more things. We always want more. It's never enough. And but once we really get to look into that question of what is enough, when am I satisfied? Am I ever satisfied with life? But again, we can make those calculations, and in that book they make a great calculation about not just calculating how much things cost in money, but how much they cost in time. And again, then we go back to that Seneca quote, which I love, and we talk about many times. It's people are very stingy when it comes to money. They are very they won't share a lot when it comes to goods or property or possessions, but when it comes to time, here it is, right? It's we can give it to anyone, anytime, right? Well, time is our most precious commodity, right? We don't know how much time we have, and the time that is gone is gone. We're not going to get that back, so we need to be more careful there. So in that book, they calculate your possessions, the things that you buy, the things that you have. How much time did you have to spend for it? So, for example, when you go to work, okay, you wake up an hour. You have to get up on time. You have to prepare yourself. You have to go to work. You have to work. You have to come back. All of these things, they take time, and that has to be calculated in all the things that we own, because that's how much we spend. Do you want to then, if you have a loan, if you have this credit card debt, then you are really giving away your freedom, because you have to pay those things. And if you don't, then you're going to get higher interest. You're going to dig yourself in this deeper hole, and at one point you might even lose the things that you have because you can't pay it back. So we need to be a little bit more aware of the things that we want to buy and not overextend ourselves. Try to set up an emergency fund for if things happen, if things go wrong. Have some money on the side. Build that up first. Again, as I said, talked about, and look into investing, index funds, ETFs, all of those things. There are so much resources out there for you to learn to do, to know how to do it. There's many examples. There's great books out there. For example, The Millionaire Teacher. They have a lot of really good. I can't remember who wrote it. But you can look it up, The Millionaire Teacher. You can find a lot of really good example portfolios there. There's a lot of information out there. Again, it's not financial advice that I'm giving, but it is a urge to do some research, to look into what does money mean to you, and how can I make it work for me? What can I do with it? How can I use it as a tool? And I think that is really important to understand. So when we talk about what is our enough, and we looked at the time, we think about what is enough. Again, so the Seneca quote is, time is our most precious commodity that we have. So use it that way, approach it in that sense. And we can have money help us buy time. So you can work this job, but in the meantime, you can save, you can do all these other things with your money. And the great thing about it, and People might know that I've lived in Dubai, and Dubai is a crazy place where it's all about money, right? It's all about having more, and it's so easy to fall in a pit. And a lot of people think that if you go to Dubai, you're going to get really rich and you're going to get a lot of money. But the problem is that money goes a lot faster there and then in other places. So you spend it so much faster than anywhere else, and that's the problem. I've met many people there who they've told me like they were deep in debt, and that for me that's crazy. I was making sure that I was saving my money because I wanted to do what I do now. I had a plan, I had a goal, I knew what I wanted with my life, and that was kind of the thing that I was looking for. And I had a plan. I said, I want to, save this much money so I can give myself this much time to do and follow the passion that I'm really, to do what I'm really passionate about, which is what I'm doing right now. And obviously, this is, for example, a great way of, pushing myself out of the comfort zone and doing new things. That's what I love. But I gave myself that time by really being focused, understanding my money, knowing where it went, how much did I have, and this is another thing. Like, people are afraid of, for example, to open their bills, to look at their bank accounts, and that is just a way of pushing it away, right? Then it just gets bigger in your head. That amount just, I don't know. There's this disconnect between life and your money, but you have to open it. You have to look at it, confront yourself with it. And once you do that, you can make steps. That's the first way to improve, to see where things are going and what you're doing. And I think that is vital in our lives. We don't have the financial education that we should have, especially not in school, right? Or and nowhere. Who teaches us what to do with money? A lot of people like us, we have to figure it out ourselves, and we go into this flow of life where we have to have a house, we have to have a car, we have to have this, because if not, our life is not accomplished. And what do we need to do to get that? Is to get a loan, to get credit card debt, to get in debt here. We need to have this university degree, and how much money do we have to spend on this? All these things, we are not really helping ourselves in that sense. And if people were to teach us how to better manage our finances, how to better deal with money, that will make such a big impact in our lives. And it's not too late, right? We can still do that right now. So I think that is really key um, to creating that financial freedom, is getting an understanding of what are my finances. Again, we talked about the priorities in life. What do you want to spend your money on? And then we can really build it. And then when we ask that question of what is enough, right? What is enough for me? And going back to the Stoics are very keen on focusing on the present, being right here, right now. And this can give us some information about what our enough might be, right? Because we look at our lives right now, and take a moment, right? Maybe after you listen to this, you sit down, you take your notebook, your journal, and you just write down the things that you have, right? The things that your house, maybe you're renting, maybe you have a car, maybe you don't, maybe you have other things. Write them down, and also write down the things that you would like to have, and then see, evaluate them as like, how much would that really elevate my life? For example, one of the interesting things is I never owned a gaming console. Why? Because I knew that if I would buy it, I would spend so much time playing that I would not have time to do other stuff. So, and that's I never bought it because, um, I wasn't really that keen into gaming, right? And if you are, yeah, go ahead and do it, right? Buy it again, buy what you need, but you have to make sure that you are ready to be able to pay for it, right? That is important to know. But yeah, for me, that wasn't something that was valuable. And although other people had a gaming console, it just didn't really feel like something that was missing in my life. So I didn't get it. And I think that is important for us to know, instead of just buying the things because we see other people having them. The same thing with, I like cooking. I haven't been doing it as, now these last few weeks I've been doing it more, but I do like to cook, but I don't need all the things that you see that other people have, right? We can live far more basic than we think. And if we really reduce on these things, we can reduce our anxiety and stress when it comes to finances. And that's what financial freedom is really about, to reduce the stress and anxiety that you have on this topic, right? To really look at how can you do things with less. And the great thing about it is that you become far more creative, There's an upside of not having a lot of money. Just think about the times when you were struggling. How did you make ends meet? How did you survive then? Right? Maybe now things are going better, but the problem is then you start, throwing your money at a problem, and you're not solving it yourself. You're not really letting your brain, your creativity flow and how to deal with these things. And that's the great thing about having less, is where we can really um, try to solve it ourselves. And another side effect of that is that we will find more meaning within ourselves. I get this question a lot. It's like, oh, what is my purpose? What is my meaning? Meaning is like we can find it in everything that we do, even in the hard things, in trying to solve things. And if you have to really work for something, then you can find the value, your worth in it, instead of just handing off your money and solving your problem that way. That's an easy way out, but try to solve it yourself first. We're so easy to throw stuff out and buy something new. That's not the way to go. And that's especially when we look at our environment. No, try to fix it. See if there's someone who can fix it for you. If you can't do it yourself, or try it yourself. Now, especially if you go on YouTube, all these things, there's so many tutorials. YouTube and the internet is the greatest university there is. We can learn anything we want. At least try it, right? At least give it a go. Don't just say, here's my credit card, just buy a new one and throw this in the trash. No, we need to be able to find that value in ourselves by doing it. And again, when we talk about financial freedom, that is a side effect that we have. We start to feel more confident about ourselves. We start to feel more powerful in the fact that we can be independent, that we're not stuck in some job, or that we're not giving our power away to a boss, or to a people, or to the banks, or to the financial institutes, where we're complaining like, oh, look at all the interest, all the things that I'm paying. Well, you take your responsibility on that. That's a very big factor as well. We have to learn to take our responsibility on our own finances. And financial freedom can give you such a relief, and having a different relationship with money can really improve your life drastically. So if you are struggling with it, look at it. Look at your money. I like making Excel files. I have done it for many years. I know exactly how much I have. I know more or less how much I'm going to spend. I know exactly the average of how much I spend a month for the last 2 years after I left my job. So I know how long I can last, right? And I've been traveling. Yes, I've been traveling for a while now, but I've been doing it, cheaper, finding creative ways. Like, for example, now I'm in Ecuador. I'm looking after 2 dogs, but I'm not spending any rent, or I'm not paying a hotel or a hostel, but I have a house at my disposal, where I can do my cooking. I can sit and read at a fireplace. I can have nice walks, but there are ways to do this. If we just find the creativity to find alternative ways, right? If we have that creativity, and that's, again, if we don't spend that money, then we can learn to find those creative ways. And I think that that's important. And again, it will make you feel far better about yourself. So again, I don't know, I'm going to probably wrap it up in a few minutes. I don't see anyone, I haven't seen anyone on YouTube. I do have these live streams, not just on X, but also on YouTube. If you want to find us there, the channel is Via Stoica. If you go to, you can see the profile. You can see the Via Stoica. You can go find that on YouTube, or if you're on X. If you have any questions though on X, there is the on my profile. You can find a post with this video. You can write a little comment underneath the video to ask a question if that's something that you would like to do. But yeah, so we talked a little bit about financial freedom. Again, this is something that I'll not on this topic, but I'll try to do it every Wednesday, to have a chat like this. So when we talk about financial freedom, just to kind of wrap it up, have an insight on your finances. Know what money means to you. Know what your priorities are in life. What are the things that you really want to do? If you have a hobby, do it, but make sure that you have the money to spend it. And sometimes we have to make tough decisions. Again, when we grew up, my parents didn't have a lot of money. They had to make tough decisions. They had to make when we were getting birthday gifts or Christmas gifts, or all those things, even with food or with clothes. Yes, we had to make different difficult decisions. We had to have, hand me downs from my cousins, for clothes, right? And that's something. And even then, those weren't always the clothes that you wanted to wear, but there was not an option. And that's something that my parents didn't like. And they worked really hard, and they lived well within the means, and now they're doing well, and they've been able to let it, to afford to give us the opportunity to go into university to study, to make something out of our lives. And that's something that I'm very grateful for, right? But yeah, sometimes we have to make tough decisions, and sometimes we can't do everything that we want, and that's fine. That's life. But at least it'll give you that financial freedom where you can live life the way you want to do, the way you want to live it, and what is important in your life. So again, think about your priorities. Think about what is your enough. When are you satisfied? And think about the present moment. Again, we talked about this little exercise about journaling. Write down the things that you have right now in life, and maybe give them a mark of present of value. Maybe 1 out of 10. Just say, okay, how much do I value this? How much do I use it? Can I live without this? Can I live with this? What are the things that I would like to have, and how much would they improve the quality of my life? Or is it just some luxury item that it's nice to have and maybe show off, right? And if you go and travel, like, how much do I really need to spend on my trips? What do I really want to do on my trips? All those things, right? Think about what you spend your money on. And once we get that awareness of where our money goes, then we can find ways to either do it better, more creative, cheaper. Maybe we do want to spend it here, but we don't want to spend it there. And that is the real thing that we want to look into. Get a better idea of who you are. And money is a great information source for that as well, to learn who we are, what is important. And again, that's how we can live a life a little bit better. So for me, again, financial freedom is a big topic. I look at my finances, um, yeah, all the time. I have a great awareness of what I have, and how much I have, and I don't have much, right? I don't need much, because I live a very very simple life. And to be honest, and when I lived in Dubai, and I was living a little bit more extravagant, I wasn't anywhere near the top there, but I did live a little bit more extravagant than now, but it didn't necessarily give me more joy. I wasn't happier there until I then reduced my lifestyle and focused on the things that I really wanted to do. Like, I really wanted to play some sports. I really wanted to read. I wanted to write. I wanted to improve myself on with courses, work on myself, and I didn't need a lot of money for that, and that was great. And then I started to feel far more. It gave me so much more value to life. It just added so much more to life, when you stop looking at money as the solution to your problems. But the solution to your problems is inside of you. It's something that you need to find here and work on, and face yourself with these things, even with the financial problems. Just face it. Take your responsibility and work at it. There's always a solution. If you think that it's too bad, no, there's a solution to it. You can find help. Find some, maybe an accountant, or find some expert, or maybe a coach here and there, to give you that right set of value with money. And yeah, there is a way out. So again, financial freedom, it is important. We all have to deal with money. Money is, however you look at it, it is an important factor in our lives. Whatever money you are looking for, maybe it's digital money like cryptos, or whatever currency you're using, we do have to use it, right? At least for the time being. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But make sure that you use it to your benefit. Money is not a virtue. Money doesn't make you money isn't a good. It doesn't make life happier, right? It can give you more problems, but it's you who decide what value, what impact money has in your life. So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you do have some questions after you look at the replay, you want to have a chat, you can always send me a DM on X, or leave a comment here on YouTube. You can find this video again on YouTube if you want to check it out. We do have a channel there via Stoica. You can just search it on YouTube. There's some other videos we have of the podcast of Street Stoics. You can find them there. We have some meditation videos as well. And we do have, again, our spaces on X every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, with with Boggles, with Brendan and Bryce and I. So check those out. But yeah, thanks again for everybody for watching. Hope it wasn't too much of a ramble for me, and hopefully you've gained something out of it. And again, make sure that you are aware of your finances. Make sure that you know what money means to you. But more importantly, make sure that you know what your priorities are. What is your enough? What do you want to spend your money on? And what does financial freedom mean to you? And again, maybe you are far closer to it than you think. Maybe that goal that you're setting of having all these millions, that's what I need. Maybe that's not even necessary. Just think about what is important in life and how much does it really cost you to live that life that you have in mind. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll be back next week, hopefully with another topic. If you do have some topics that you would like me to talk about, check it out. Send me a DM or whatever way you can contact me, and I will look into it, and we can talk about that. And if you have any questions, my DMs are always open. But for now, thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.